सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ श्री परमात्मने नमः। अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच यस्त्वात्मरतिरेव स्यात् आत्मतृप्तश्च मानव आत्मन्येव च सन्तुष्टः तस्य कार्यं न विद्यते नैव तस्य कृतेनार्थः न कृतेनेह कश्चन न चास्य सर्वभूतेषु कश्चिदर्थव्यपाश्रयः तस्मादसक्तः सततं कार्यं कर्म समाचर असक्तो ह्याचरन् कर्म परम् आप्नोति पूरुषः। कर्मण्यैव हि संसिद्धिम् आस्थिता जनकादयः लोकसङ्ग्रहमेवापि सम्पश्यन् कर्तुमर्हसि यद् यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तदेवेतरो जनः स यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि।
Thank you. Very good. Hari Om. Excellent. All of you.
All Shruti ji's teaching.
Absolutely. Wonderful. Great effort. So, yesterday we were seeing that Krishna has given examples of kings who were also Gyanis, and by Gyani we mean they were established in Atma Vidya. They had Atma Vidya Nishtha. It's a word we very often use, and it has come from second chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, which we have already seen. Shankaracharya has used the word there. A Gyani is one who has Atma Gyan Nishtha. Nishtha word, many people may not have clarity about because it's a Sanskrit term. Most of us would not have heard of it probably. It's not a common use, very often used. Nishtha means being established in. Stha means, stha is the root, means rehna, teherna, rukna. In English, when you translate, it is like abide or anchor or established, which means while a part of your thought is dealing with the world and is also engaged in activities, doing what you're supposed to do, other inward, your buddhi, your antakaran is completely anchored in the knowledge of what is sat and what is asat, what is truth, what is not truth, what is absolute, what is not absolute. That Viveka Shakti, that bhed, that thinking, division, as in the intellect is clearly seeing what is Atma and is able to abide in that knowledge, in that perception as you conduct in the world. So, Janaka example is excellent in the Shastra to show that it is possible. And then we said, keeping that in mind, you also, Arjun, belonging to the same composition of gunas, you are a Kshatriya by nature, having the same composition of gunas by your prarabdha, you are also a prince who has a kingdom. You will be a king sometime, but you have duties towards your praja. So, those duties, which is very clearly now defined by both the acharyas, that these are in a way that you would prevent others from taking the path of adharma. How do you do that? When you follow dharma, then others will also follow dharma, which means you will prevent them from slipping into adharma. In this next paragraph, Madhusudan ji had said, Sarve Raja Ashrita Dharma. Raja Dharmasya Dharakah. One second. I don't know. So, Sarve Raja Ashrita. Everybody is dependent on the Raja. Raja in today's times means our leaders, anybody who's governing the society. Sarve Raja Ashrita Dharma. Raja Dharma Dharmasya Dharakah. The one who is abiding in those Raja Dharmas, the dharmas that he is supposed to, he is a Dharak. He is also looked upon as a Poshak. Poshak means who nourishes. He upholds, Dharak means Dharan karta hai. He upholds Dharma. By following Raja Dharma, he is upholding Dharma. इत्यादि स्मृते वर्ण आश्रम धर्म प्रवृत्तकत्वेन अपि क्षत्रियः अवश्यं कर्म कुर्यात् इति आह. In this manner, based upon your own duties in life, your stations in life, your situations in life, conduct your karmas, duties. Lokanam swe swe dharme. प्रवर्तनम उन्मार्गत निवर्तनम, उन्मार्गत, उन्मार्गात निवर्तनम, स्वे स्वे धर्मे प्रवर्तनम, लोकानाम, everybody in the world, people, lokana means people, स्वे स्वे, अपने अपने धर्मों में प्रवृत्त होते हुए, उन्मार्ग निवर्तनम, preventing them, withdrawing them, bringing them back from taking a wrong marg, a wrong path. What would be the opposite of dharma? Would be the wrong marg. Opposite of dharma will be adharma. If you're not following dharma, you are following something. जिंदगी तो सबकी चल रही है, अगर आप उसको धर्म के रास्ते पे नहीं रख रहे, उसको आप धर्म के एज आई वुड से धर्म के घोड़े पे बिठा के नहीं रखा अपने आप को आपने, तो आप कुछ तो फॉलो करोगे. सो व्हाट वुड दैट अदर थिंग बी दैट यू विल फॉलो इफ यू डोंट फॉलो धर्मास? What other thing will you follow if you don't follow dharmas?
Naturally, a dharma.
So what is that adharma in the form of? Sorry? I didn't understand. Paap?
Yeah.
Paap.
Punya paap.
हाँ, that will be karma phal. Punya paap will be karma phal. क्या करके अधर्म करोगे तो
So
you will.
your actions are not righteous.
So what are you following? When you say I'm following adharma, means nobody consciously follows. When you don't follow dharma,
So you're not doing your duty.
so you're not doing your duty. So what are you doing? Okay, the path of senses and pleasures. Absolutely correct. If you're not following dharma, आप किसके पीछे लगे हो? आप क्या फॉलो कर रहे हो? What has prevented you from following dharmas? If you think about it, what resists in you to follow what you should do? We had this question, we did that 2 days ago. Your ragadvesh, your ahankar. Shastras put it in a very general category. Everything will be reduced to that. Yes, according to the Purusharth, Artha and Kama, which is your senses. The right answer is you will follow the path of senses and pleasures. Instant gratification. वो इतना powerful होता है that it can take me my will to follow dharma, because dharma means you don't see an instant pleasure there. In later verses somewhere, make a note of it, where exactly it comes. I'm third chapter or the next chapter. He's going to say what is instant gratification, instant pleasure. जो इमीडिएट मुझे सुख देता है वो आगे चल के दुख का कारण हो जाता है, उसी से दुख मिलता है. And what is difficult in the beginning, what looks very tedious, what looks very क्लेश सहित, जिसमें बहुत क्लेश है, जो बहुत मुश्किल लगता है शुरू में, वो आगे चल के आपको बहुत सुख देता है. What is pleasure in the beginning is pain in the end. What is pain in the beginning is turns into pleasure in the end. So dharma is what? Following dharma in the beginning is klesh. It is difficult. If you follow dharma, you will get pleasure in the end, sukham in the end. But what prevents us from doing it? Instant gratification. Abhi, I need my happiness now. I need my pleasure now. That instant gratification takes us towards unmarg. Unmarg is uttamarg. Uttamarg is adhogati. Adhogati means bringing us lower and lower into our own, establishing in our own animalistic tendencies, impulses, etc. Rising higher and higher means what? Overcoming animalistic tendencies, overcoming those instant gratifications, establishing yourself in a more firm ground. What is that firm ground? Dharma is the first dharyate. The root is dri. You must have read it here and there. Dri means जो धारण करता है. Dharan karta hai means it gives you a solid foundation. It gives you a adhar. So when you're following dharma, you're standing on a firm ground. आपका अंतकरण anchored हो जाता है. Into what? Into certain permanent values. Dharma means now you are beginning to align and live with permanent values. That is why they give you shanti. Because ये बदलते नहीं हैं. That is why we say Sanatan Dharma. These values will not change. As long as this creation is, these values will not change. Whoever will live in them, they will find that peace. They will find that shanti within them. So they are saying, when a Raja follows his dharmas, then he's a dharak, dharma dharak. He makes others also follow them. That, keeping in mind, loka sangraha, pashyanapi, shabdat, janak adi, shishta acharam api. Shishta achar hai unka. What is shishta achar? Who can translate this word shishta? It's a difficult exact translation. Shishta acharan. Proper.
Knowledge.
हाँ जी. Sorry.
Knowledge.
No.
Systems. Knowledge of
Okay. Knowledge.
knowledge की शरण.
नॉलेज के हिसाब से आचरण करता है. शिष्टाचार मीन्स प्रॉपर. देयर आचरण इज प्रॉपर. जनकादि word was used by Bhagwan as an example of showing whose conduct and behavior is shishta. Shishta means proper. Means they never go out of dharma. Shishtachar. Proper acharan. Seeing that, you also, sabhya, okay, sabhya is a good word. Elegant, okay, fine. So as long as we get an idea. These are examples taken. Krishna tells Arjuna, keeping that in mind, kartum arhasi iti anvayaha. Now I'm doing this portion because in the next few lines, yesterday we said those smritis that Madhusudan Acharya has put forward to say sannyas ashram is, for whom is it valid, and he's taking that as one of the reasons that Krishna is telling Arjun, you cannot take sannyas. And he shows the bhed here, how in society it changed. And that is why it's informative, but necessary for some people who may be a little more into the studies. Within the code of conduct, that's right. Shishtachar is within the code of conduct. That's right. So he says, within the code of conduct. Kshatriya janma prapakena karmana arabdha sharirastvam. Tvam is you. O Arjun, you Kshatriya janma prapakena. Prapt kiya hai, by gaining janma in a particular family, and that family happens to be Kshatriya. Kshatriya janma prapakena karmana arabdha sharirastvam. Your prarabdha karma is established, arabdh hua hai, prarabdh hua hai, which has given you this body. Your karmas have given you this body in this particular family whose dharmas are Kshatriya dharmas. And Vidwan api Janakadi vat prarabdha karma balena. Like Janaka, your prarabdha karma is also balena, being strong. बल है उसमें. क्षत्रिय प्रारब्ध कर्म आपका बलवान है. कीपिंग दैट लोक संग्रहार्थम कर्म कर्तुम योग्य भवसि. फॉर यू लोक संग्रह कर्म इज योग्य, मीन्स इट विल बी राइट फॉर यू टू डू लोक संग्रह को देखते हुए कर्म. न तु त्यक्तुम, डू नॉट गिव इट अप. Not giving up means Brahmana Janma Alabhaditya Abhiprayah. Absolutely beautiful. He's showing the contrast. He says you did not get Janma in a Brahmana Kul. Alabhat. आपको लाभ नहीं है, मतलब आप अपने प्रारब्ध कर्म के बल के कारण आप इस क्षत्रिय धर्मों में आपने अपने शरीर को धारण किया है. ब्राह्मण जन्म आपको लाभ नहीं हुआ है. एतादृश भगवता अभिप्राय विदा भगवता. As keeping this principle in mind, Bhagavata means Bhagwan. Bhashyakar also, Bhagwan means here Krishna, you can take it as Krishna, or Bhashyakrita means Shankaracharya. Both of them, or you can use Bhagavata with Adi Shankara, but here I think Bhagavata is with Krishna and Shankaracharya. Brahmanasya eva sannyasah na anyasya iti nirnitam. They both have decided, means they both have proclaimed that only a Brahmin takes to sannyas, no one else. But Vartika Krita, there is a printing error, it should be Vartika Krita. Vartika Krita tu Praudhivada Matrena. Praudhivada Matrena means for the sake of Praudhi. Praudhi means what is popular in the society, what is commonly seen in society, what has taken Praudhivad means popular notion. What is a popular notion in society? Kshatriya Vaishyayoho api. Kshatriyas and Vaishyas also. Sannyasah asti iti uktam iti drashtavyam. It is seen that they said, who's a Vartikakara? Sureshwaracharya is said to be a Vartikakara. Who's Sureshwaracharya? He is a student of Adi Shankaracharya and has written great texts, and one of the Jnani students of Sureshwaracharya. There's a story behind, we won't go into it. Vartikakar, he said, because he's written a Vartikas on certain popular or certain important bhashyams of Shankaracharya. He's written sub-commentary on them. That is called a Vartika. Like this is a bhashyam. Vartika is also one of the ways of commenting. It's different from a bhashyam. And usually bhashyams have a certain formula with which they write. There are certain points that are covered. Vartikakara explains bhashyam. So Sureshwaracharya and others, they were later on also, like Anand Giri and other acharyas, they accepted that they can. So in today's present times, this kind of a division is not usually observed. But we are seeing this, and that is what I want to highlight here. We are connecting this. We are seeing this in detail because our mind has no doubt left if we follow this system of thinking or this logic that is presented. Our mind has no doubt left as to why Bhagwan Krishna tells Arjuna to remove his doubt, Arjuna's doubt, why are you putting me into Ghor Karma? So Bhagwan has only told him, you have to do karma, it's your duty. These acharyas have explained it in a way that in our mind, that little doubt, if it is left also, is eradicated for good. It has nothing, that's the relevance over here. Now we come to the 21st verse. I'm presuming this is clear. I would presuming it is clear.
They give you one clarity. So when there was a verse in the second chapter, I think it said, if the more and more acquisitions you have, the more dukh comes in, right? The more and more you acquire things, like उसके साथ दुख आना ही है. So was that something that is also not connected to this, but what you were saying, Indriya, following the Indriya mark leads you to a lower like realm, like you go lower in your jivatva, right? So is that related to that verse which said that if you like the more acquisitions you have, the more dukh will come in, right? Because
Uh, uh, later on, maybe you can bring back the verse, what you really mean, independently without, but since I don't know what verse you're referring to, I will not connect it to the verse still till you give me the number. But independently, yes, it means more and more acquisition means you go into more and more preservation, yoga kshema. The more you acquire, the more you will put effort to preserve. Utni energy daloge,
yeah, yeah,
so it will go more and more in your, so it puts you into a cycle of karma in that sense. Yeah.
thank you.
But pleasure seeking is your importance in life. You'd see that धर्म को जब हम कुछ सच अच्छा करने जाते हैं तो सबसे पहले हमारा ऑब्स्टिकल क्या बनता है? Anybody has observed? Very often, I won't generalize it. Thank you.
It's your own pleasure. First, whether it suits you, it doesn't suit you, only then you want to take that action.
Correct.
How
And
much it suits you.
sorry, yes.
Fruit.
Huh?
Fruit. क्या मिलेगा?
Fruit क्या मिलेगा? And सबसे बड़ा वो संशय exactly because of these things मन में आने लगता है करें नहीं करें करें नहीं करें. So that kind of a self cancelling. हम करने जा रहे हैं बट हम खुद ही अपने आप को रोक लेते हैं because our mind goes into other areas. Those other areas, that's the power of pleasure seeking, and they slowly push us into adharmic ways. And it's a generalization again. Adharma doesn't mean we have to go very, very wrong. Small gets absorbed, but our minds get to that an extent disturbed. That's all it means here. Okay, so we'll move ahead now. Next verse, because they are connected. As I said yesterday, now we will be on 21st verse, 22nd verse, 23rd verse, I think also. Krishna is going to connect these. What is the point? Starting point, I'm repeating myself. Starting is a new thought force, new logic that Krishna is giving to Arjuna, why he should follow his karmas and not take karma sannyas. Means not take physical sannyas, but do karmas in the spirit of karam yoga, which will give him shreyas. And what is that logic he's presented? He says, as a Kshatriya, you have a dharma to follow the Rajadharmas. So you follow Rajadharmas, and all this comes. Now he says, Nanu. Nanu means a doubt, a Purva Paksha. Even Arjuna, it could be. Arjuna, it could be anybody. Here it is just presented as Arjuna. Nanu means मगर, लेकिन आपने कहा वो तो ठीक है, लेकिन मया कर्मणि क्रियमाणे अपि, even if अपि, मैं अगर even if मया by me, मेरे से कर्मणि क्रियमाणे, मैं अगर कर्मों को करता भी रहूं, जैसे आपने कहा लोक संग्रह के लिए कर्म करो, अगर मैं लोक संग्रह के लिए कर्म करूं, करता भी रहूं, then also, even then, even if I continue to do my actions as you are saying for the sake of lok sangraha, even then, lokaha kim iti, why should the world tat sangrahin yat iti ashankya, why should they follow me? Tat kim iti, why would the world follow such a shanka if someone has? Have you got the connection? Because the next verse will be an answer to this doubt if anybody has. Means if the Shresht Purusha says, मैं तो धर्मों को follow करूं, मैं तो आचरण करूं, because I should. But why should the world follow my acharan? Why should they follow what I do? Question clear? If the question is clear, then you will get the answer next verse very beautifully. Not clear to anyone? I'll repeat if it's not clear.
Please, Diptiji, can you repeat?
Yes. See, the point was, I'll cover that question. The point is, कृष्ण ने अर्जुन को बोल दिया, अपने कर्मों को करो. अगर तुम ज्ञानी नहीं हो तो कर्म योग से चित्त शुद्धि होगी. अगर अपने आप को ज्ञानी समझते हो तो लोक संग्रह के लिए कर्म करो. अब प्रश्न आ सकता है, मैं अगर कर्म करूं तो भी मैं तो धर्म का पालन करूं. आप मुझे कह रहे हो लोक संग्रह के लिए करो और लोग मेरा धर्म बनता है टू प्रोटेक्ट अदर्स. इफ आई कंटिन्यू टू डू माय कर्मास, लोकः किमिति तत् संग्रहीण्यात्. Why should the people follow what I do? Whatever I do, why should the people follow? Iti ashanka. In this manner, a doubt can arise. Now clear? Should I repeat again?
So if he thinks like that, he's attaching phal to it, right?
No,
Like
no,
Lok
no, no.
Sangra
You are
people?
missing.
No.
No. No, that's not the.
Okay.
Now we have shifted. Forget Arjun. Forget Purva Paksha. Nanu means Purva Paksha. Start from there. Purva Paksha means contender. So Arjuna कृष्ण को बताने वाला, समझाने वाला हमको ये पूरा, we are सिद्धांति who want to follow this. हमें सिद्धांति कहा जाएगा. This is a principle, teaching. But there'll always be a counter question to that teaching.
Then opposite to it.
Opposite to it. That opposite to it. The मतलब कोई तो होगा ना जो कहे. अब supposing in a democracy you see, if there is a law passed, then there are other people who have an absolutely opposite view of that. So there will be people who will object what is being said. So objection is nanu.
Okay.
Now got it? Okay.
Yes. So why do it if the other opposite side is saying ki they may not follow you? So you need to understand why should they follow you?
Why will they follow? Means
follow? Yes.
Now right. So they are actually, the point is the opposite side will say, can ask. So he's asking, even if I keep doing it, why will the others follow me? So that's why I said here, Nanu means Arjun ko le lo. Arjun's asking Krishna, ki even if I continue to doing my dharmas, why should others follow me? Because he said, you have to do it for the sake of others, prevent them from falling into unmarg, etc. Clear?
The question is clear, yes, but
Answer will be next verse. That's why I want the question to come through first so that the answer gets clear. Because it's a very famous verse. We have all heard it many times. So the answer is Shrestha Achara Anu Vidhiyatvat. Shresht ka acharan. Who's a Shrestha? Shrestha matlab जो श्रेष्ठ पुरुष है. If you translate it, it will mean the supreme man, etc. Shreshta means whose acharan is shishta, who in general terms is accepted in the society, who in general terms is respected, looked up, is a leader in a society, who takes important positions in society, and who is a role model for people, etc. So Shreshta Purush means who's on the top bracket, more exposed to people and more accepted by people, more known to people. That's what is meant by Shrestha here. So Arjun was a Shrestha Purusha. Bhishma was a Shrestha Purusha. Drona was a Shrestha Purusha. Vyasa is a Shrestha Purusha. These are all Shrestha, means we look up to them. They're respected. So their acharan is what is going to be given as an example now in the next verse. Can you chant the 21st verse?
Yes, Diptiji. यदाचरति श्रेष्ठः तत्तदेवेतरो जनः स यत् प्रमाणं कुरुते लोकस्तदनुवर्तते.
Good. I'll hold the verse. There are two questions here. One question is why will people not follow, especially when Lok Sangra leads to universal balance and dharma? Why will people not follow is a counter question. Here, first, we want to see why we should follow. Means Krishna Arjun ko keh rahe hain, tum bhatko mat. So that is the thought flow. That is the purport of this teaching. You do not deviate yourself from following the dharmas, for which for which a logic was given, reason was given, that others will look up to you, and you have, as you do, they will do. Therefore, you stick to doing what you're supposed to do. You keep following them. Now, why will others not follow? For the same reason, pleasures, etc. Lok Sangraha is not possible for everyone. You have to be a Shrestha who can do Lok Sangraha also. This is a huge vichar that comes in if there's a group of people who are analyzing the texts, then this vichar will also come. Who can do Lok Sangraha? Can an Agyani do Lok Sangraha? Lok Sangraha means at least you are to be respected by people. If not, then your karmas are not inspiring others to lead the right way. So that's a little deviated question. The focus is follow karma. Nanu was to say, why should people follow me even if I do my right karmas? Okay. Okay. The second question here is any sort of fal asakti also adharam? Asakti. Any sort of fal asakti also adharam. That's right. It's a measure of a Shresht man. Any sort of a fal asakti also word is probably misleading. You cannot say also is adharma. Fal asakti can take you to adharma. But phalasakti is adharma. This would be an incorrect correlation. Asakti. There was a question yesterday, and I think last class I keep in this verse also it has come asaktaha here, 19th verse. Before also tasmat asaktaha. I'll just explain the word because there seems to be a little confusion sometimes. Asaktaha. Saktaha means judna, attached, जुड़ा हुआ. असक्तः means न सकतः. न सकतः means नहीं जुड़ा हुआ. नहीं जुड़ा हुआ. न सकतः. It's word of negation. Sanskrit has another term. We'll stick to na saktah. Asaktah. A used before any of the words makes it negated. So asaktah becomes detached. Asaktah. Instead of a, there is a dirgha a. Asaktah. That asaktah again means very severely attached. So asaktah and asaktah sometimes gets a little confusing if you are not alert. So here from 19th verse, if ever you get confused, refer back to the 19th verse, chapter 3. Tasmat asaktah satatam karyam. Therefore, remaining detached, always do your work. Okay. So is fal asakti also adharam? No, you can't correlate asakti to adharam, but asakti can take you to adharam. Depends on the strength of your attachment. It can propel you towards taking adharmic ways. Is that okay? So now we will go forward. 21st verse. Yat yat acharati shreshtaha tat tat eva itaraha janaha sayat pramanam kurute lokah tat anuvartate. यत यत आचरति श्रेष्ठः. यत यत जैसा जैसा, as and as. Acharati conducts, karoti. Shankara says yat yat karma, जो जो कर्म. आचरति आचरण करते हैं. करोति करते हैं, जो जो कर्म करते हैं. कौन? श्रेष्ठः, जो श्रेष्ठ है. Who are the Shrestha? See, Shankara gives beautiful meaning. Pradhan. Now we know. जो जो प्रधान है. And who are pradhan? प्रधानमंत्री, प्रधान acharya, pradhan. Even in a family. Who's pradhan? Pradhan word, what do you understand as pradhan?
Head of family.
Head of family. Very good. Head of family. Whoever in a family, head of family. In an organization, head of organization. In a government, head of government. Head, yes. In a state, head of state. Whoever is Shreshtaha, they, जो जो वो आचरण करते हैं, तत् तत्, यत यत, तत् तत्. Whatever karmas the Shresh does, whatever they do, karma word becomes, जो भी वो करते हैं, tat tat eva, that alone. Karma acharati, those, that alone, others, itaraha janaha, tat anugataha, anugataha, they follow. Anugataha means following. Itaraha means, the word said itaraha janaha here. Shreshtaha tat tat eva itaraha janaha. These other people, they follow the pradhan. In other words, sayat pramanam kurute. Whatever pramanam means, whatever the Shrestha believes, thinks, stands for, whatever is he representing, whatever they represent in their thinking, in their convictions, in their ways, in their outlooks, जो उनका नजरिया है, जो जो वो अपने विचार रखते हैं, जिसको वो सही मानते हैं, दैट्स प्रमाणम. लौकिकम वैदिकम वा, whether they are pertaining to the लौकिक दुनिया, दुनिया में क्या सोचते हैं, क्या विचार रखते हैं, और वैदिकम, whatever they accept as praman, lokah tat anuvartate. People also follow that. Lokah means here people. That alone. Tat anuvartate. Tat eva pramani karoti. That alone they take it as pramanam and also do. In very simple terms, if you remove all these just simple terms, whoever you see as Shrestha, you either imitate them, you are inspired, you imitate them, you start following them. So you find a society actually has whatever they look up to. I have got to know about the BTS army. I know. What a fan following. Whatever the BTS are BTS, I think I've mixed up again. BTS does. Don't ask me who are BTS. If you don't know, remain blessed. I've got to know. Whatever the BTS does, the army follows. Their fans are called army. They follow. That is what it means. Now, in Vyavhar, in Dunya, in Drishti, what was the Nanu question? Why will people follow me? If I, it's a Korean band, that's right. Why will people follow me? Is what can be a doubt that he can have. Anyone can have. मैं अगर धर्म पालन करूं तो भी दूसरे क्यों पालन करेंगे? मैं उनके लिए, मतलब आप मुझे कह रहे हो कि उनके लिए तुम धर्म पालन करो, तुम्हें तो जरूरत नहीं है, तुम तो कर चुके हो, and you have established yourself. Now you don't need to be bound to dharmas, but for the sake of others, that they should get inspired, they should learn by they'll see you do, therefore they will also follow. It will prevent them from going into unmarg, therefore you do. So the question was, why will they? Yad yada charati shreshtaha. Krishna's words. This is not some acharya's words. If Krishna is giving these words, personally, wherever I see such verses, I take them as a law of life. ये नियम बन जाता है. ये नियम है. यद यदा चरति श्रेष्ठः. If anybody heard the Prime Minister today, he quoted this verse and I was smiling. I said, हाँ, हमारा भी आज यही verse आने वाला है. Yad yada charati shrestha. That shows that when someone has this knowledge and you are in a position of being a shresht, you abide in those dharmas. Yad yada charati shrestha. Now the question is only very few select people shrestha? Only very few select people who are pradhan, only they have to follow dharma? Everybody has someone or the other looking up to them. Wherever we are positioned in life, there'll always be people who look up to you. Means you are shresht for them, even if it is one person. So it could be your helper at home who looks up to you. It could be your gardener, your cleaner, anyone. It could be a far off cousin. Anyone. There can be just anyone. It could be a friend. It could be a stranger on the road. There could be anyone who looks up to you. Therefore, as a conduct, a shrestha means, yes, your children, excellent, always looking up to you. Therefore, keep your conduct aligned to your dharmas. And that is how they follow. Laukikam, Vaidikam, whatever be their beliefs, whatever be their beliefs, whatever be their convictions, whatever be their understanding, जिसको वो सही मानते हैं, below them, whoever there is, who looks up to them, they all follow them. Madhusudan ji again gives us a little more insight into the same verse. Shrestha is pradhana bhutaha raj adi yattat karma acharati, whatever they are doing. Now here that word is what I found very insightful. Shubham ashubham va. श्रेष्ठ का मतलब ये नहीं है कि वो हमेशा शुभ ही करता है, वो जो भी करता है शुभ या अशुभ. That is why the teaching is शुभ ही करो. Means you should always abide in doing karmas that are shubh. But shubh or ashubh, acharati, whatever they are doing, tattat eva acharati itaraha. The same thing, shubham ashubham जो तुम करते हो वही और लोग भी इतरह. And who are those इतरह जनाः? प्राकृतः तत् अनुगतः. प्राकृत, अपना प्राकृत स्वभाव, तत् अनुगतः, those who are fully following their own prakrit स्वभाव. What is a prakrit स्वभाव? I just used a word in English for that. Anybody has been able to correlate? Especially here, those who have not heard before. Prakrit स्वभाव, if you have to translate it, how would you put it? I used those terms just now. Prakrit स्वभाव क्या है? उसका opposite is Sanskrit स्वभाव. I use these terms very often in class also. Shankaracharya brings it up very often also. That's why I use it. Prakrit कौन है? Are you all there or nobody's there?
Somebody
Your
who's-
inherent nature.
Your inherent nature as in? Your,
Impulsive.
that's right. Your impulsive, animalistic common behavior.
Animalistic.
Correct. That is your prakrit स्वभाव. Prakrit, another word is going to be gunas. He's going to talk about it very soon. गुणों के बेसिस पे आप कर्म करते हैं. अपना जो जो आपके गुण हैं, आप they express themselves in karmas. They express themselves in thoughts. आपका स्वभाव उन गुणों के हिसाब से बना है, without any vichar in between. The right and the wrong of your own impulses you have not examined. जैसे जैसे हैं वैसे वैसे express करते हैं. So here just this word prakritat anugatah janaha, these people will follow. And who are these people who are prakritah? Who are those prakritah? And another way of explaining it. So one way is they just follow their gunas blindly. Well, they let them express. They never examine their impulses. They never self-examine themselves. They don't self-examine. So if they are angry, anger is right. If they are frustrated, frustrated is righteous. If they are, whatever comes to you naturally, oh, that's a good one. Whatever comes to you naturally, that is prakrit. Bina resistance ke. न तु अन्यत् स्वातंत्र्येण इति अर्थः. Beautiful. Who are these prakrit? They are those who are not swatantra. They have no independent thinking of right and wrong. You know, that faculty of examining. They don't examine such, they are not independent. Na tu anyat swatantriyena iti arthaha. They are not swatantra. Mhm. Okay. Hindi translations also okay, not bad. वो श्रेष्ठ प्रधानभूत राजा आदि शुभ अथवा अशुभ जिस जिस कर्म का आचरण करते हैं उसी उसी को उनके अनुयायी दूसरे साधारण जन भी करने लगते हैं. वे जन स्वतंत्रता से दूसरे कर्मों का आचरण नहीं करते, यह अर्थ है. स्लाइटली डिफरेंट, बट द मीनिंग बीइंग दे आर नॉट इंडिपेंडेंट थिंकर्स. जो अपने आप से विचार नहीं करते, they become followers. They'll just follow.
So the saying that you have sangat mein rangat,
हाँ, that's it.
that fits very aptly for people like this.
Correct. Absolutely.
Dipti, Shobha would be following dharma.
Yes.
Ashok,
Ashubh would be when you are
like opposite of
हाँ,
following dharma.
हाँ. So sometimes means every Shrestha Purusha cannot always be following everything that's right. उनकी अपनी भी कमजोरियां हैं, अपने भी impulses हैं. You know, this you find. That's right. Pashvik, correct. This you find everywhere. You know how when children are growing up, how they imitate their parents, even before they know. You know? Very young children are also imitating children. Imitating the adults in the family. That is how they pick up even before their faculty of thinking has come up. In an organization, people, if the leader is well known, is accepted, people follow that. Even in spiritual organizations, you see that the head, you'll see most of the followers are in their appearance also, they start looking alike. It is so natural to just imbibe, to just follow, to just absorb or just accept without thinking. You have made praman is an important word. आपने उसको प्रमाणित कर दिया एक बार अगर किसी को, then you just follow it because na tu anyat swatantriyena ityat. You will not do anything else independently. You're independent, vichar is not there, you're independent, you will not deviate from doing what they are doing. Okay?
So is that a good thing or a bad thing to just follow?
He is just telling us a law. ऐसा होगा.
That's the psychology of the human mind.
हाँ. That's right. That's the psychology of a human mind. Therefore, be very careful. When you're a Shrestha, and in other words, it is telling all those, especially teachers, grandparents, parents, uncles, aunts. If you have a younger generation below you, looking up to you, you have a greater responsibility towards them, more than an average responsibility. So, wherever you find you are inspiring someone, automatically you have to get alert by this principle, yat yadacharati shreshtaha. Now, our teachers have all told us, right from Swami Chinmayanji, every teacher does that. A sir in particular was very, very particular about this verse. And 4 o'clock in the morning, if you had to get up, first person to get up was that. Why? Punctuality means I'm going to be punctual. Why? This was quoted so left, right, and center that it was ingrained in us that yad yadacharati shreshtaha. Whatever you will do, the others will follow. It's a beautiful niyam. So there is importance of knowing what is dharma for Shrestha and abiding in those dharmas for them. Okay? The verse clear to everybody? Very simple verse otherwise.
Yes, you become more duty bound, right?
Why you should be careful about not taking leniency, especially in certain matters which can have great consequences. Those are the areas where you are careful to stick to dharmas. Here, Shankara had just given the sambandha as Loka Sangraha Kimartam Kartavyaha. Why should I do Loka Sangraha? A simple way to understand, because others are following you. Who are those others? Those who don't do Swatantra, those who are not Swatantra. They will look up to you. That Swatantra word Shankara doesn't add, but that gives the whole depth to the meaning. Okay, so next verse, we'll just start. Can you please chant?
Yes, न मे पार्थास्ति कर्तव्यं त्रिषु लोकेषु किंचन नानवाप्तमवाप्तव्यं वर्त एव च कर्मणि.
Wonderful. Very good. Now, I'll show you the connection what Madhusudan says, because it's got a rasa in it. Rasa means there's an enjoyable factor in it. Krishna now gives his own example. Shreshtaha. Krishna is also Shreshtaha in his time. He says, Atra cha ahameva drishtantaha iti aha. Giving his own drishtant now to Arjuna as a Shreshta Purusha. Tribihi, the following three verses, 22, 23, and 24, is where Krishna is giving himself as an example of a Shreshtaha. And what is that example? What is he conveying? I'm asking. If you've understood so far, what is he saying?
He's saying I am also Shresh. If I am bound by duty, then it applies to everybody.
If I am doing my duty when I have nothing to do, then
I have nothing to achieve.
I have nothing to achieve. I have nothing to gain. I have nowhere to go. I have achieved what is to be achieved. He at this third chapter, Arjun is still not seen his Virata Roop. He is a very close friend of Arjun. Arjun looks up to him as a great guide and a counselor. He knows there is certain vibhuti. But in the 11th chapter, when he sees the Vishwarupa Darshan, that's where he sees the Bhagavan there. Till now, Bhagavan is saying, he says, I have nothing to achieve in this world. Even then, I am doing for the sake of Lok Sangraha, my kartavya. I am following. So, yadi atra api Lok Sangraha kartavyatayam te vipratipattihi tarhi mam kim na pashyasi. This is also beautiful. He says, if you question this to say, why should I do? Why will the world follow what I have to do? That's right. Good connection. Yeah. Why should I do? He says, if you question this, why? Then why don't you see me? I am right in front of you. Why don't you observe the example I set? Name parthaha asti kartavyam. Kartavyam. No kartavyam. Na kartavyam. I have no kartavya. Mere. Name parthaha kartavyam. I have no kartavyam. O Parth. This also meaning somewhere he gives very beautiful. I have no kartavyam, O Parth. Trishu lokeshu kinchana. In all the three lokas. What are the three lokas? What are the three lokas?
This one, you one,
Correct.
one, you, one.
And Bhulok. These are given only in a general way. Otherwise, 14 lokas are divided further. These three lokas are further divided into Earth being Bhulok being right in the center, 7 up and 7 down. Earth being in the center. So gradations of higher and gradations of lower. That is Unmarg. When you keep going lower and lower, last is total Narakam. This hierarchy comes somewhere. So he says, in all the three worlds, there is nothing I have to achieve, I have to do. Na nana vaptama avaptavyam. There is nothing that is not gained that I have to gain. Kuch hai hi nahi that I have to gain that I have not already got. Means there is nothing that I have to get. Varta eva cha karmani. Even then, varta, I keep remaining. Eva, alone. I keep doing. Karmani. I keep doing my karmas constantly. Okay. Na, sorry. Me, mama, mera, Parth, Arjun, na asti, na vidyate kartavya. There is no kartavya for me. Na asti is equal to na vidyate. है नहीं. विद्यते means है नहीं. क्या नहीं है? कर्तव्यम. ओ पार्थ, मेरे कोई कर्तव्य है नहीं. कहाँ? मे भी अभी नहीं है, कल होंगे, पहले थे, अब नहीं है. Like if your parents, you have kartavya for children, but when they grow up, your kartavya is reduced for your children. So हो सकता है ऐसे हो. त्रिषु अपि लोकेषु. In all the three worlds. Kinchana, kinchit api. No, kabhi bhi. I have no kartavya. How? Kasmat. Shankara is asking the question. How come you have no kartavyas in the world? When do you have kartavya in the world? Everything will start adding. Na anavaptam apraptam. ऐसा कुछ है ही नहीं जो प्राप्त नहीं है. Avaptavyam, prapniyam. What I don't have is what I want to get. That is not there for him. In other words, there is nothing that is not gained that I have to gain. Even then, I keep doing what I have to do. Varta eva cha karmani aham. I am constantly doing what I have to do. In fact, what he must be doing at that time at Krishna, when he said, look at me, where is Krishna standing?
He's his charioteer.
He is his charioteer. And he's standing in front of him. Why? Because Arjun chose him like that. And why is he saying, I am also like you? Because Krishna is also chose to born in he's a king. He's also chose to be born in a Kshatriya family. So he says, I'm like you. So if you don't want to look at Janaka, etc. over there, then look at me in front of you. I have nothing even from this war. There are two different commentaries that would say anavaptam, apraptam would be even referring to the war itself. What has he got to do with the war? He has nothing to gain here. Yet, he is saying, I remain doing what I'm supposed. You told me to do. I'm doing what you are asking me to do. I do what is to be done. Clear? I keep asking clear.
Did this prarabdha have anything to do with this? Like I do what?
Sorry?
Prarabdha, does prarabdha have any role here?
In what?
Like when you achieve whatever you like, when you have like you said, right, people like Ramana and all, they, like when they achieved their self, right, their true self, there was this prarabdha that they had to, they had to go through, right? So can that be also applied to Krishna?
That's what he said, no? Prarabdha here also he said. It's your Kshatriya Prarabdha. So do not give it up. You're born by your Prarabdha in a Kshatriya family, therefore continue executing your action.
Okay.
So if you say Prarabdha only after enlightenment, that context is a little different there. Ramana, etc., Jivan Mukta Avastha, why, etc. Let's stick to Ramana. Incorrect use. Ramana Maharishi is a Jivan Mukta. So the question is, if he's a Jivan Mukta and he has exhausted all karma phala, then only prarabdha karma vasha, the sharir is still alive. But his avastha is anchored in Atma. He's anchored in Brahman. Sharir continues because prarabdha is there. That's exactly the question asked in the previous verse. If you think Janaka is enlightened, then why is, let me repeat, if you think Janaka is enlightened, then he is doing karma for loka sangraha, not by karma tyag, but by remaining in karma. Who are the ones who are enlightened and are not in karma? They are those who are sannyasis. They have chosen physical state of sannyasa, karma sannyas. What has Ramana done? He's chosen a state of physical karma sannyas. Only for Sharir Yatra they do karma. Nothing else. That also, I showed the stages of Gyanis. When you're completely absorbed in that avastha, somebody has to even shake you up and say, Khana khalo. Are you able to see what I'm saying?
Ji. Okay.
So that prarabdha here he's saying, आपके पास वो choice नहीं है. Means you don't take that choice. Choice है, but don't take it.
It also depends on the maturity of the mind, isn't it?
As in, what depends on the
Like,
maturity?
Like you're saying, Janaka, in spite of being a jnani, was doing lok sangra and doing karma. He did not do sannyas. But whereas Ravnashri took sannyas. So, is that because of the maturity of the mind also?
No, at the Gyani level, they are the same. And
Same.
Ramana did not take sannyas. It's just said it's a karma sannyas state. He didn't take sannyas in that sense. Means unko vairagya is established. Whereas here also vairagya is established, but they remain doing karma. That's the whole point.
Okay.
Both at a Gyani level, there can be no difference. If you take Janaka as a Gyani and Ramana as a Gyani avastha, there will be no difference between the two. But yet one chooses to give up karma. And that is why at a later stage you find Ramana doing some loka sangraha. As in what? He spoke whenever he was asked a question. Later stage of his life. He wrote the 2-3 books also. He said them. He didn't write them, but he said them. Why? Because that's the loka sangraha. That's the karma he left behind for others to benefit. Whereas Janaka and all these, they are in that position of managing a society. So, remaining in Jnana Avastha, they continue to do their karma. Are these two stages clear? That is pravritti and nivritti. Yeah? जो शुरू में हमने कहा था ना? हाँ. Good.
Yeah.
So we'll end anybody? It's clear, I presume.
Deepti,
Mhm.
one small query. Like, can this also be understood like the Varna difference? Like Janaka may have Varna of Kshatriya, but Ramna might have Varna of Brahmin. So irrespective of the Varna, both were enlightened, but because of the difference in the Varna, they were living the way they were.
See,
So can we understand that way also?
Janaka we shall certainly know because of the written portion. In case of Ramana, his Vairagya was set very early. So Gyan Avastha had already matured very early. Means disinterest already tha. Now, what is it just Varna? I mean, I don't know what Varna he was from. I'm not aware of that. We don't look into it from that standpoint. The common factor is what is necessary. I understand what you're saying. Yes, he was, that's the whole point also. And we leave it at that. Kshatriya the, what is here the context? Let's come back to the context and not move away into examples. The context is being अर्जुन के माध्यम से हमें क्या कहा जा रहा है?
Do your karmas.
That's all. So those are examples taken to enforce in us what is our path. हमें कौन से रसमार्ग पे चलना है? So analyzing the examples may not help us further much. Whatever is needed is already presented here in the book. Independent, yes, those questions independently are valid.
Okay, sure.
Understood?
Thanks. Yes.
All right, let's end. I only brought the example only to convey the Jnani point. We'll end it here. Everybody okay? Can you please?
Yes.
Good.
Yes.
Thank you.
जी विभूति और सिद्धि एक ही चीज होते हैं, एक ही बात है क्या? जैसे हम कहते हैं
नहीं,
विभूति
थोड़ा
है,
सा
किसी
फर्क
को-
हो सकता है. हिंदी में शायद एक ही यूज करते हैं सिनोनिम के जैसे. They can casually be used as the same, but siddhi is through technical term. Siddhi is taken as an accomplished state. सिद्ध पुरुष जिसे कहते हैं, अब सिद्ध हो गया means कृतकृत हो गया. Whereas vibhuti is one part which is uniquely expressing. ये इसकी विभूति है. Supposing it's an artist. An artist, उसकी विभूति है, that's why he's an artist. A singer, उसकी विभूति है, that's why he's a singer, etc. Means there's a special quality that shines forth. उसमें उसकी सिद्धि हो सकती है. So in that sense, they become synonyms then through Hindi language.
Okay, so by following, by doing the धर्म, जो धर्म विभूति है वो धर्म बन के उसके द्वारा उनकी सिद्धि हो सकती है.
How did you connect vibhuti and dharam? I didn't get that.
In the sense जैसे किसी को कोई विभूति है तो उसको वो अपना धर्म समझना चाहिए. That's what.
If they do it as their dharma, as Ishwar Arpan, as Prasad, as Karam Yog initially, or Upasana Yog, either of them, any of them, that vibhuti they can convert it and it can take them to their siddhi. Yes, correct.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's correct. All right, everyone, no questions, I'm presuming. So let's end the class. Neetu ji?
Yes. सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु, सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामया, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्तां न्यायेन मार्गेण महीं महिषा, गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम्। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः, पृथ्वी सस्यशालिनी, देशोऽयं शोकरहितः, ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
Just a little correction. Nirbhayaha, because it's a plural word. Nirbhayaha would become
Bhaya.
for a single person.
Okay.
So Nirbhayaha, that's an extra dirgha line there. This extra aki matra.
Okay.
So that makes
I'll
it.
keep that in.
So that
that
makes it for plural. Everybody.
Yeah, there's a in English there is a line on top, alantyam on top, like
right.
right.
Correct.
To do it as a
Yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Right.
All
I'll
right.
take note of that.
Thank you, everyone. Yes.
Thank you.
We'll just.
Thank you very
Dhanyavad.
much.
Thank you. Dhanyavad.
The broadcast of Facebook Live has stopped. Recording has stopped.
Thank you, Ji. Hari Om Ji.
Hari Om, Deepta ji. Thank
Hari
you.
Om. Thank you.